Welcome to Unfiltered Summit Sisters. I'm Gina.
And I'm Julia.
We are two ride-or-die best friends who are paving the path for what true, authentic relationships look like.
We're facing hardships head-on, having real, uncensored conversations, supporting each other's growth, and shining a light on true, raw healing.
We are navigating the world the best we know how.
Having a hell of a time doing it.
Laughing every step of the way.
Through the rain
and sunshine.
This is Canyon Culture.
Okay, so you made a comment earlier today, because I showed up at your house, and you had, makeup on, and I was like,
I know.
Did I not get a memo? Not that I would put makeup on anyway.
No, you're right.
But I was like, where are we going? What are we doing? And what was your response?
I am trying to just take better care of myself and do things that make me feel good.
Okay, so is that a new thing you're explain a little bit more about, did something trigger it, or you're just this is the next step, or is it the fact that you don't feed yourself, you're going, oh, I should look into this more, this is a concern?
A couple things triggered it.
Okay.
A couple things. I've had a lot of hard days and weeks recently, struggling with just some anxiety and some depression, and I think, not eating 3 meals a day does not help.
I'm assuming you're probably not sleeping well either, so you're not eating nor sleeping.
Not sleeping, and I'm sure my body's not sleeping because it's probably hungry.
Yeah.
Even though, this has gone on long enough to where I don't even feel hungry anymore, right? And I need to be taking better care of myself. I know that. Anyway. And so, trying to get on top of just mental health things so that I feel good in my own body and I'm able to tackle all that's on my plate. And then just having, I don't even know the correct terminology for it.
Quality of life?
So here's, we'll just say this instead. So Monday, Mason comes to me, my 8-year-old. She's like, Mom, you look really pretty, which was so sweet.
Yeah.
So sweet. But you want to know what was different?
What?
I washed my hair.
Yeah.
That is it. That is it.
So what's
I'm pretty sure I had a t-shirt, no pants, and I just washed my hair, and she's like, you look so pretty today. And I'm like,
so I have a question. If that's been a compliment that I've had for the last several years, what does that, people are like, oh, you look really nice today. I'm like, literally the only thing difference is I've showered.
If I put on a real bra, not a sports bra, a real bra, my kids are like, oh, where are we going? What are we doing today?
I'm wearing a sports bra right now.
Yeah. See?
Okay, so let's talk about what things are you... Well, you also mentioned something about wanting to embrace your femininity, and that's something that that my doctor has been really pushing me to do for how long? It's been years.
Yes.
And I've come a long way. Mm-hmm. Not all the way, but we're working on it.
I think as single moms, there are so many masculine roles that we have to step into.
Yeah, it makes it confusing.
It's confusing and it's hard. And at the moment, I have a guy that I've been seeing, that I've been dating for 10 months now. Mm-hmm. And he does stand in his masculine energy really well, which is allowing me to pull back in some of those roles. And allowing me to embrace more of my femininity. And so just simple things like I put makeup on today because I wanted to, because it made me feel good. I'm not going to see him today.
Right.
We're podcasting.
You can't see our faces though. We're so far away from the camera.
You can't tell whether I'm wearing makeup or not. It's just for me. It's just to make me feel good.
Yeah. I think that's good. I think you're right though, not having a masculine energy in our lives on a day-to-day basis makes it hard, because as I'm trying to learn to be feminine, first of all, I'm not understanding that definition. What does it mean to be feminine? Because to me, growing up, being feminine meant being vulnerable, and that was a weakness.
Right.
And so I'm having to discover what that means, and it's actually being in your feminine is extremely powerful.
Right.
And it is, I think, a huge part of my healing journey so far. But it's really hard to figure out what to do, how to do it. And I've talked to other people, when you feel feminine, what is it that you're doing that makes you feel that way? Mm-hmm. When you feel like your husband or your boyfriend is in his masculine in such a way that you feel like you can safely stand in your feminine, what does that look like? And as I'm discovering that, I'm finding ways to do it, but I'm still very confused on how I'm supposed to do it, because I don't have a masculine energy in my day-to-day life.
Right.
And I do have to do a lot of those masculine roles, because because I was reading a book or listening to a video, and it was just talking about like women and careers and stuff like that. I was like, I can't not work. Like, I don't know. I need somebody to explain to me how to stand in this power while I still work.
And I don't think all of it is black and white. I think it's going to look different for different people.
Yeah.
Right? I think that it's going to look different for someone who is a stay-at-home mom. I think it's going to look different for some women who have big roles in corporate situations where they're around men mostly all the time.
Yeah.
I think it'll look different for single moms.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's a black and white or a list of do this to be feminine. I think it's going to look a little different for each person, and I think that we have that feminine intuition in us, and that will lead and guide us. So for me, it's as simple as like today, I put makeup on. I feel pretty.
Yeah.
I feel one of the best compliments that I think I've ever gotten was from my boyfriend, and he said, "I love that you can be feminine and also a badass."
It's perfect.
I was like, "Thank
Take
you."
me now. I'm
Curtsy.
That's perfect.
Curtsy.
So what other things do you feel like you're doing that is, so we're kind of putting feminine energy and self-care in the same space.
Right.
Do you feel like they're two different things, or do you feel like, I don't know, I'm just trying to figure out which topic do we talk about? Are they one thing or are they two separate things?
Yes.
I love it when that's your
I think
answer.
they can be separate things, but I think that they can collide as well.
So what things have you been doing or implementing to do more self-care, and what things are you planning on doing? Like, where are you at in this journey of taking better care of yourself?
So the biggest thing is making sure that I'm getting 3 meals a day.
Right, because
which I know sounds so ridiculous and basic, but it's where I'm at.
Yeah.
Right? I need to make sure that I am eating 3 meals a day so my body is fueled, so that my brain and my mental health are improving.
Right.
I'm still I train all the time. That never stops. And so that's more of a self-care than a feminine thing.
Right.
But that helps my mental health as well.
My doctor told me before you go to the gym, put perfume on. Like, that's how you take your femininity to the gym.
Weirdest thing. This is so weird. Before I teach, so my piano studio is all online.
Yeah.
All of my students are completely online, which is fabulous. But before I teach, I will take 5 minutes to take care of myself. Some days I put makeup on, most days I don't. But I'll, put deodorant on and brush my teeth and put body spray on.
None of these things your students will.
No, because we're online. They're out, most of them are in a completely different state, right? But it makes me feel good.
Yeah.
Another thing, like having clean hair.
It's such a big job. You have so much hair.
It is a really big job because I have a lot of freaking
and it's
hair.
curly.
Yes.
And you've had it straight for a long, long time. So
yes.
You take it from curly to straight every day.
Easier to take care of that way. But that, just having clean hair makes me feel good. Having it down makes me feel more feminine.
Yeah,
I agree. Most of the time it is up in a ponytail or up in a bun, because we know that's like the universal sign of it's not hair wash day.
I've washed my hair. It's down.
Yeah.
You.
I only wash it once a week.
I don't do the spray what is it called? Dry shampoo. I don't like how it feels, and I feel like it makes it worse.
I don't use dry shampoo unless I'm going somewhere and it's not hair wash day. If I'm going on a date and I know we're going like out, like not up here because nobody's here.
This doesn't count somewhere as out. This is still in for us. This is
right.
An extension of our homes.
Exactly. So no, I wash once a week.
Yeah.
And it takes me 15 minutes to dry my hair with my Revlon fancy dry brush thing.
So cute.
And that's it for the whole week. So the first 3 days I can have my hair down. And then
fourth
day has got to be like a ponytail. 5th day is probably a ponytail. 6th day is probably a bun. And then 7 days wash day.
Perfect. I love the schedule you've got going.
The end. You're all welcome for my hair schedule.
Do you have anything that you're wanting to implement that you either haven't yet or that you are excited to start doing? Are you in a space where you're looking at the future, or you're just like, today I've got to figure it out, and you're just kind of flying by the seat of your pants?
I think it's probably the latter.
Okay.
Taking it slow and one day at a time. I think because I have been struggling with anxiety and depression and stuff right now, I need to take it one day at a time now. And so making sure that I do something each day that makes me feel good, or allows me to be soft and feminine, helps me a lot of times when I have to step into that masculine energy, for my family, it's being the provider or being the protector. And a lot of times that can mimic feelings of fight or flight. It's not the same thing.
Right.
I know that. I'm aware of that. But it can mimic those feelings.
Right.
And I'm absolutely stepping into my masculine there. And I know that. And so I like doing things that just let me soften a little bit. Let me sit in a little bit of my feminine.
I would assume that date night that you guys go on every week helps you be in your feminine.
That
Not just
helps
because
me.
you're around him, but because you're intentional with
Both.
this time.
Because I'm intentional with the time and being around him. He's the protector.
Yeah.
He's the provider. I don't have to worry about those things.
So some raw thoughts here. I get frustrated and I have conversations with God because, again, the doctor that I see, who's a functional medicine doctor, so he takes care of everything.
Right, he views the body as a whole. Weird.
Super odd. So when I have a physical ailment, there's usually an emotion that goes with it. And so we're
Absolutely.
healing the physical. So like there was a day that I had, my hips were really hurting and he kept trying to adjust it. And he's like, why are you so angry? And I was like, no, I only have time for chiropractic today. And he's like, I can't set your hips without getting rid of this anger. I was like, oh crap. I wasn't prepared to deal with that today. But I get frustrated because I don't know how do I not be the protector? How do I not be the provider? How do I stay in my feminine? Because he's always telling me, he's like, you are not the father. Do not take on those roles. And I'm like, we're just gonna not like,
Right.
I don't understand. I know that what he is saying, I understand that there's a lot of, I'm the one that's missing the points. And I
Right.
get stuck on that because I get in a victim space and a victim mode of just, we are not intended to do this alone. We are not intended to raise kids by ourselves. And yet here I am. And I'm just super, not confused. I'm just trying to figure out how in the world am I supposed to do this while being in my feminine.
Right.
To show up for my kids as a mom and not step into a father figure, because that is not who I am. And that will, on all kinds of levels, mess with them. So me just staying as a mom, and I'm like, I don't understand.
And that's really hard because in reality, somebody breaks into the house, you are the protector.
Yeah.
You are it.
Yeah, I can't just be, I'm sorry, I'm a woman. I can't.
I don't have the masculine energy needed for this, so take what you want. Like,
Could you imagine?
you'd
I
probably
know
be freaked out by you using those words and be like, this is screwed up.
Could you sit down and talk to me really quick? Because I really need some adult time. So my problem is I do feel like I sit in a victim space because I don't have a masculine, and I really am trying to figure out how to be feminine. And like I said earlier, there's a lot of what I thought being feminine was being weak and vulnerable and
Right.
not in a good way. And so I'm learning about it. And so I'm in this space of learning, but needing to apply things that I don't understand. And it makes it complicated for me. And so I'm like, so when the challenge came from Jared to embrace my femininity, I was like, I'm not going to wear pink. Like I was at a friend's house and I was like, I don't like this shirt I'm wearing. And she's like, well, here, try this shirt. And she threw it at me and I put it on. I was like, get it off, get it off. I was like, this is too pink. It makes me so uncomfortable. Like she's like, I didn't realize you were going to have such a physical reaction to it. I was like, I didn't either. It was involuntary, but I like threw it. But like, I'm not going to wear makeup. I'm not a makeup person. I don't feel like myself with that. But I am finding ways to be feminine. Painting my toenails. Nope. Painting my toenails makes me feel feminine. I too, with my hair down, makes me feel feminine.
Yeah.
I'm finding things.
Your jewelry. I love your
Yes.
jewelry.
Because that's the thing is I used to wear rings and bracelets all the time and just lost it with being a mom.
Right.
And so I'm rediscovering that again. And yeah, that makes me feel pretty. And it makes me, and that's the thing is I'm learning that that's my journey is I'm figuring out how to feel beautiful and pretty within the parameters of my authentic self.
Right.
Which is complicated. But the part where we talk about feminine energy and not standing in your masculine energy and not being the dad and not being this, that and the other thing. And I'm going, what do you want me to do? I don't get it. And that's the hard part is I desperately want to do the work and I want to do the healing. But when you don't understand it, it becomes frustrating. And when there's no guidebook that says, when you do this, then you know what I mean?
Right.
So I get irritated.
But I think you're doing a really good job of it. I think that God is giving you little bits at a time, and you're doing a really good job of it. Like some of the dresses that you have gotten for church are so freaking cute.
Getting comfortable in dresses. I was like a skirt and a shirt kind of girl, and those oversized maxi skirts, like
Right.
hiding as much as I can, and I haven't. So yeah, the dresses has been new for a year, and I got another dress that I think takes it to the next level. I really like my legs in the dress. My legs look
Yeah.
really good. I'm excited to try it on for you. But so yeah, I'm trying little things, and it's definitely making a difference. It's just part of how do you do life as a single mom.
Right. I
Just-
think that's going to look different in different seasons too.
Yeah, and I got to be okay with that.
Mhm.
But it's hard. This self-care bit is hard because there's a lot of times where I'm going to speak for you. There's not enough hours in the day. So
Yeah.
when you take an hour and a half to train, I haven't trained this week because I was not feeling well earlier this week.
Yeah.
I haven't trained this week, and the amount of work I've been able to get done, I feel like Satan's getting in there because I hate how I feel in my skin right now. I'm seeing overweight Gina every time I look in the mirror, and it's causing depression, and I'm eating horribly. Thank you, period. And then when the past couple days when I haven't trained, I can get home from taking the kids to school and dive right into work, and there's a lot of success happening in that. And so I feel like, yes, that's a good thing, but I've got this little voice in my head is like, maybe you should stop training. And we
Right.
both know that is not the answer.
Yeah.
There's a whole episode on why training is what we both need and what I need in my life. But anyway, I thought that was really interesting. But yeah, self-care, it's like how to manage that without feeling guilty.
Right. Yeah.
And that's just my job. That's not even like with my kids.
Right. Most of my showers during the week after I train, I call it a one song shower. Like I'm in and out before one song is done.
Yeah.
But once a week I have a long shower, and that I get out of that by long shower I mean 3 songs.
I told you last night, I was like, I tried to take a long shower and I think it was 4 minutes long. And I was like, son of a bee. I really tried. So
And that, like, I wash my hair and shave my legs, and I get out and I'm like, I feel like I went to the spa. Move over, Beyonce. Like, right? And I'm like, I should do this more because it makes me feel good.
Yeah. We've got to find more things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I've got to drop the mom guilt too.
Yes.
Because that's one where I'm like, I could have been doing this with my kids.
Right.
But that whole, oxygen mask on you before you put it on your kids is a real thing. But then I have this really odd voice. It's a man voice, and it may be coming from a specific somebody telling me how bad of a mom I am right now. It's not helping.
I feel like I could guess.
Who that might be?
We won't play that game though.
We're not going to play that game. But that makes it hard, right? Like I'm over here killing myself for my kids and trying really hard to take care of myself. And so I don't have a problem feeding myself. I have a problem feeding myself quality food. I will eat crap. And so I feel like it has the same effect in the sense of my brain function's not good. I don't feel well. I'm not feeling good in my skin, but it's because I'm
Two
eating.
extremes, same effects.
Never
We're finding
live
this a lot.
Yeah, we are. Because I'm like eating like, cases of Oreos at a time. I'm like, what'd you eat today? I'm like, oh, I had a shake. I always start out good with my protein shake. And then I had Oreos the rest of the day. And I'm like,
And I'm like, oh, right, food, I forgot.
yeah, it's fine.
Neither is good.
Right.
We gotta find a way to come to a middle.
Okay. We'll figure it out. And I think that's the part, because when we talked about this topic, you're like, haven't we already talked about it? I was like, it doesn't matter. It's always a moving thing. It's always different.
Right.
Because my kids are in different seasons than they've ever been. And so trying to find time for myself looks different. There was a time that I was dating, so finding time for myself looked different. It was more of a priority because there was somebody else involved.
Right.
You have had a boyfriend for an extended period of time, and trying to juggle time with him and time for yourself and time for your kids, right? So it's always a moving conversation. So what is one thing that you've done maybe this last week or so that has either made you feel pretty or feminine or self-care that you were just like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. This makes me feel so good.
Oh my gosh. I mean, it's something stupid and little, but I washed my hair and I did my nails.
Your nails are so cute.
Thank you.
I love it.
Just something little, but it made me feel really good. I'm doing something that's just for me. That doesn't have to do with me being a mom or a girlfriend or provider, right? It's just something for me that just makes me feel good inside. And that also boost my confidence. So I got ready today and I had a business call that I needed to make.
Yeah.
And I just felt really good and confident making it.
And it was just a phone call. They didn't even see you.
Right.
And you're like, just so you know,
Just
I
so
look
you know,
really pretty today.
I'm really cute right now.
Could you imagine if we started all of our business calls like that? I'm crying. So I work for a civil engineer, so I talk to a lot of contractors, and I'm like,
AKA a lot of men.
oh yes, and like blue collar.
They'd be like, why are you telling me this?
like, Tyler, you wouldn't believe it. I look so cute today.
He'd be
That'd
like,
be inappropriate on a lot of
cool.
levels.
So
Could you get the report to me? I'm like, I'm gonna do it with my cute nails.
oh my gosh, I love this. I know today we talked about a lot of the physical aspects, I guess, of embracing our femininity. Try to say that 5 times in a row.
Embracing femininity.
Yeah. But there's so much, it's so much more than physical. It's so much more than, clean hair or nails or makeup. There's so much more to it. And I think that we'll talk about more of that another day. But this is just a little snippet of physically what we've been doing.
Yeah. The glimmers.
Yes. Yeah.
The glimmers. So I'm grateful that you communicate. Because when I came in, I said, ooh, you have makeup. That you said why. Because I think that that's part of being in a tribe is that you are a good communicator and don't shy. I mean, not that it's something to shy away from, but you had the thought to say, I wanted to feel pretty today.
Yeah.
And that got me thinking. I'm like, what did I do? Like, right? Like I go, okay, what did I do today that made me feel good about myself?
Right.
So I am grateful for you giving me a peek into that.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
That's also really ironic because communicating didn't go well past week, but that's fine. I am oddly thankful that we've got fall and winter happening at the same time up here.
Yeah.
Which I think is crazy. I don't remember this happening last year.
I don't either.
But we were really, really new.
It was very
and I think it's really cool to see snow and fall colors at the same time. And I'm just like, God, you're so cool.
Super awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll see you next week.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Unfiltered Summit Sisters.
Come join us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok to get a sneak peek into our lives.
It's beautiful, chaotic, crazy, and fun.
What else would you expect raising 10 kids?
All the links you need are in the show notes.
See you next week.